What is happening, guys? Jim the Game Guru, your video game and board game nerd. Okay, so when it comes to video games or board games, one of the things that I absolutely love is when I come across unique games or games that are way underrated, that are way better than you ever thought they would be. And here, today's video, I have a board game that I have never, ever seen, ever. And it kind of reminds me of Onitama, which I did a video on this channel on, which is kind of, Onitama is an abstract version of a chess type of a game. And in Onitama, it's more of an Asian themed, but in today's video, I have one that is Celtic themed, and it is a Viking chess game. Look at that. Look how awesome. It's super, super, super cool. It's a very abstract type of game. Now, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Now, I looked this up online, and the part with the TAFL is supposed to be Tafel. And I'm going to take a guess here. I'm going to take a guess with the entire name, what it could be. So my guess is HNEFATAFL. That's my guess. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. This is how you pronounce the name of this game. But man, yeah, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to show you guys the components. The actual instructions for this game are really, really simple. And kind of like Onitama. Well, Onitama is very simple, but that one uses cards to move these abstract pieces and in this abstract game. This one, you don't need cards, and it's pretty defined on what the rules are and how you move the pieces. But the pieces themselves have no real individuality, so it's very abstract in that way. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna open this up and show you what it looks like. All right, let's dig into some Tafel. Now, I'm not gonna do a full gameplay, and the reason why I'm not gonna do a full gameplay is because the instructions to play this game are very, very simple. So I'm going to show you some of the moves. I mean, when I say this game is simple, it is simple. That's the one thing I love about abstract style games, these abstract chess games, is that it's very simple to make a move, but it's very hard to win. It's a game that I feel is not very stressful because you don't have to remember so many moves for so many different pieces like regular chess. But at the same time, it does have that competitiveness. I'm going to show you the instructions for this game really quick. And as you can see, it's very, very, very simple. It's a one-pager. They just put a one-pager in the box. I love the colors they put in this. It's very, very beautiful. So it just goes into the pieces and the setup and then how to play, which are your moves. I mean, look how colorful, though. I mean, it just looks absolutely amazing. All right, so in this game, this game is only a 1v1. You cannot play more than 2 players, and you need 2 players to play. So you have one player that controls the midsection, which are these defender pieces. So these pieces here are the defenders, and this is the king. And these are all wooden pieces. I'm gonna show you some of the pieces. It's all wood, painted wood, and this is the king being a little larger than the other ones. The king always starts in the center right there. This is the attacker pieces. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. So one person's the attackers that controls all of these kind of turquoise pieces. And the other person controls the defenders and the king. Now, the goal for the attacker is to surround the king with 4 pieces in order to capture the king. There is a way that you can only use 3 pieces to capture the king, and the way you do that is to have all of these defender pieces gone off the table, and the only piece left is the king. And whenever you have the king as the only one left for that player, if you have the king like against, let's say against a side of the board, right, and then you had three of these, oops, this is right here actually. And then you had 3 of these attacker pieces surrounding the king. then you're able to capture the king because there are no defender pieces on the board. But that rule only applies if there are no defenders. Now, if there are defenders, the only way you can capture the king is by having 4 pieces surround the king entirely, and then that will allow you to capture. Now, how does the defender win? The person that plays the defender can win several different ways. One way is to get the king to get to one of these yellow squares here on the outside. Any one of these corner squares. If the king makes it there, the defender wins. The other way is if a player cannot move. Anytime any player cannot move a piece at all. So if the attacker player loses all their blue pieces and they can't make a single move, or the blue pieces they have left are surrounded by defending pieces and they can't make a single move, then that attacker player loses. The other way, and this is an assumption on my part because it's not actually in the rules, but the other way that I can think the defender would win is if the attacker player has less than 3 pieces left, because you need 3 to surround a king and capture a king if there are no defender pieces left, and you need 4 pieces if there are defender pieces left. Logically, that tells me if there are less than 3 pieces for the attacking, then there's no way in hell they could win. It's impossible. You wouldn't be able to capture the king at all. So how do you capture pieces on the board? All right, well, let's go over the movement first. First of all, the movement, these pieces can move horizontal or vertically any number of squares. The only way that they stop is if there's a piece there that stops their progression. Any other piece will stop a progression, and the side of the board will stop the progression. But you can move any number. So if I wanted to move, 3 here, whoops, as I knock over all the other pieces. If I wanted to move 3, I can do that and stop there. Or if I wanted 2, whatever, or if I wanted to go the full extent. If this piece was here, I could go all the way over here if I wanted to. So you can move any number of spaces vertically or horizontally. And this goes for the defending and the king. I didn't see any kind of restriction for these pieces in the instructions. But please correct me in the comments if I am wrong, if there are some restrictions for the defending pieces. It doesn't seem like there are. So how do you capture a piece? So one way that you can capture a piece is if let's say you had a piece here and like a defender was here, right? And then let's say I moved this here. What you do is you sandwich a piece between 2 of your pieces. So this piece is now sandwiched between these 2 pieces. So then this would be a captured piece that comes off the board. That's how you capture pieces on both ways, even when you're looking at the defending side. So let's say I had this piece here, and somehow I got this defending piece here. This piece here is in between these 2 defending pieces. So then this piece would be captured off the board. And what else do we have? There is one other rule here too, and there is a rule where if one of these defending pieces are sandwiched between a corner piece and a piece of the attackers, then that defending piece can be captured off the board. There is also another rule where, let's say this was moved up here, and then this was here. If the defending piece is sandwiched between the starting space of the king and between a piece of the attacker, then this piece would be captured. So by that rule, that tells me if I do something like this, that's really a dumb play for a defender, because then this person can just come in and capture that piece and boom. There's definitely some certain moves that you wouldn't want to make from the get-go, because it would allow you to get your pieces easily captured. And that is pretty much it. That is how you play this game. You move the pieces horizontally and vertically as far as you can, and as many squares as you want, and you capture the pieces by sandwiching them in between your components. Again, the attacking pieces need to surround the king, or they can surround them on 3 sides and a corner of the board if there are no defending pieces available. And if the king makes it to any one of the corner squares, then that defender automatically wins no matter what. So it's cool how you have this constant invasion with these attackers from all angles. And then at the same time, you're trying to get these defenders to kind of come out and whittle away these attackers and try to get your king to one of the escape spots on the corners of the boards. And I actually love the gameplay in that. It's very, very interesting. And I love the fact that these pieces are wood. And this board is just amazing. It looks beautiful. I like the fact this board is not one that bends either. It fits right in the box as is, so you don't have any creases on the board, and it's a good size. You could put this board on a small coffee table or something or wherever. So if you wanted to just chill, by a window somewhere and play and have some coffee or some drinks or whatever, and then play a game like this, it's very easy to slap on a small table so you guys can play. But yeah, this is Tavel. It's a Viking chess Celtic theme game. Never seen anything like it before. Absolutely love it. I love these abstract type of games. But that's it, guys. I am Jim, the game guru, your video game and board game nerd. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.